A new leader. You see Ricky Craven come off turn 4 and set up Mark Martin for the lead going down into turn 1.
And then Mark immediately was running around the bottom. As you can see, as soon as Craven got by him, Mark said, "Hey, how'd you do that?" So he starts running the high line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the top 9 cars, and a while ago, a couple laps ago, the only car that was running the low line in 3 and 4 was Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. Now he's moved up there too, so the top 10 are all running the high line, especially in 3 and 4.
My driver buddies all have that monkey see, monkey do mentality.
And the lap times have dropped off a full 1.2 seconds from the start of the race in only 20 laps. Rusty Wallace chasing Bill Elliott. This is for 3rd.
Rusty was one of the ones on Friday that elected to spend a lot of that practice time, what little there was, working on race setup, and it looks like it's paying off for him. But I'm going to tell you, Rusty has always ran well at this place.
Well, what I think we're seeing, Larry, is a number of these cars that had teammates come down here and test have put in their teammates' testing setup, is what some of them told me.
You see Rusty going to 3rd, passing Bill Elliott in the 9 car. And yeah, Ricky Craven, he's a single car team, but he came down here and tested.
A lot of veterans up toward the front. Some of the rookies having trouble. Watch the 41 top of your screen. Casey Mears, the red car.
Bam. It's coming off turn 2. You just run out of racetrack. The car's in a 4-wheel slide.
It's like I said, you just run out of room off the 2 over there. That's the straight part of the D, and it's pretty tight up off that corner.
Jamie McMurray in the 42 also.
Casey Mears' teammate.
Now Mark Martin is letting him go. Not indicative of Martin having a problem.
Nope.
Big picture racing, Darrell.
That's Mark Martin's style. You come up and pressure him a few laps, he's not going to tolerate that. He'll let you go by.
And Darrell, what I see, we talked about this a minute ago, it looks like a lot of them are electing to run a little bit low into turn 1 because the transition into turn 1 is not as abrupt as it is into 3 and 4.
You see the fender on the 25 bent in on Joe Nemechek, likely from contact with Jamie McMurray that we saw a minute ago.
I've been watching some of the cars back in the pack, and they've been beating the fire out of each other, leaning on each other, bumping into each other. A lot of racing going on.
Now at Daytona, that might cost him a second a lap, but here
probably won't hurt him at all as long as it don't start rubbing that tire like we saw with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And Jr.'s still out there. He has not pitted, and that tire rub has pretty well gone away. Alongside him is Johnny Benson, who started outside pole. Steve?
Mike, right before the race, as I reported, Johnny Benson said, "I'm going to be conservative," but now he just told crew chief James Ince that the car has a handling problem. It's loose going into 1, and it's tight in the center on both ends of the racetrack. The car does not want to pivot. Back upstairs.
For the lead, Rusty Wallace puts the number 2 Dodge out in front.
Well, that's got to put a smile on his face because, you know, he's always run well here. I think he's got 5 wins here. He likes this place. Hadn't run well here the last couple of times we've been, but today looks like he's got her dialed in.
It's the 16th time that Wallace has led a Winston Cup race at Rockingham. First time he's led those since October of 2000.
And it's his 600th career Winston Cup start today.
They've had 75 Winston Cup races at this racetrack. First one was in 1965. You know who won it?
Curtis Turner?
Curtis Turner. You know who was on pole?
No.
I didn't either till I thought you might know. No, Richard Petty actually was on the pole.
Dude, watching Elliott Sadler in the 38 car there, he started in 11th and he's up to 8. Dick Berggren, what do you know about Elliott Sadler?
Well, I know the crew is very concerned about the grill in that car. He early on had contact with his teammate and has pretty well torn that grill up. When he comes in for a pit stop, the crew's going to go to work and try to fix it.
Sadler right behind Sterling Marlin, right behind Bobby Labonte, who's been making quite a run at Dave Blaney's 5th place spot there. Last lap, Labonte went low in that green Chevrolet, but to no avail. They stay single file.
I'm going to tell you, a guy that started deep in the field. In fact, he started 33rd. Our current Winston Cup champion, Tony Stewart. I've been watching him. He's hugging that white line, at least for the most of these laps, and he's already moved up to 19th, so he's almost chopped this field in half in 30 laps.
When you have a track that's hard on tires and abrasive and wears them like this track does, the key guy on your race team is the shock guy. And Tony and Bobby Labonte have a shock guy they call Dr. Who. Ronnie Crux, and he is a master at figuring out shocks for these kind of racetracks.
He's been getting about a car a lap, and just like you saw right there in 3 and 4, and you'll see it here in 1 and 2, he's about the only car that's hugging that white line at both ends of the racetrack, and that's a sign of a good handling car, Jeff Hammond, after 30 laps.
Another guy that started back there in the back, was fast in practice, was Ryan Newman. He started back like 22nd. He's already worked his way up right now where he's knocking on the top 10, and kind of been watching his track times, Larry, and he's probably got about the 2nd or 3rd fastest car right now on the racetrack.
And he had a fast race car Friday. He just overdrove his race car when he went to qualify it.
And Flying Ryan has also been right around the white line you see at the bottom of the racetrack since we started. Rusty Wallace has opened up 0.8 of a second on Ricky Craven. Bill Elliott's 3rd, Mark Martin's 4th, and Bobby Labonte is 5th. Every one of the 4 makes in Winston Cup racing with a car in the top 5. Trouble in turn 4. The car has bounced off the wall.
That was just a controlled slide. He gathered it back up. Tony Raines in a 74 car.
Yeah.
And we're going to stay green. So we'll get you to break and be right back with the Subway 400 on Fox. The Subway 400 on Fox is brought to you by Subway. Fresh made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. By Ford. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again. By Valvoline's Max Life. Take better care of your higher mileage vehicle with Valvoline's Max Life. And by Napa Auto Parts. 40 laps complete at the North Carolina Speedway. Rusty Wallace in the lead. He's the 4th driver to lead today. And let's show you what happened to Tony Raines just as we were going to commercial.
Well, now sometimes the wall can be your best friend, and in this case it was. He just about was to spin that thing out. He got the right rear up against the wall, straightened him up, and on he went.
A cut right rear tire for Raines. Derek Cope has taken his car to the garage. Otherwise we continue caution free. Ricky Craven in 2nd in a Pontiac behind Wallace's Dodge. Bill Elliott's Dodge be the 3rd place car. He's about another 1.3 seconds back.
And where are those mighty Chevrolets from Daytona?
Well, Elliott Sadler's Ford has fought its way up to 4th place. And Mark Martin's Ford, after leading a few laps to get some bonus points. Mark right there in 5th. Sterling Marlin in 6th in a Dodge. And the first of those Chevys, Darrell, will be Bobby Labonte in 7th. Then our pole sitter, Dave Blaney, his Ford in 8th place. And we pick up some audio between Dave and his spotter and crew.
Attaboy, Dave. It's a long race. Doing good. Good job. It's your mark. Your mark. Pretty free off. Just kind of babying it here.
That's what I like to hear, Larry. And Jeff, you're down there. I know you're listening. If you got to talk to that driver and tell him he's doing a good job.
Yeah, you're exactly right there, Darrell, because, you know, you and I have been here before, and that sometimes that conversation, just letting you know that I'm with you, what you're doing is right, how your lap times are in comparison to the leader, or if you are the leader, how crucial all that kind of works out as far as tire management, because if you can back off a little bit and save your tires by slowing down a little bit, that's not a bad thing. But if you need to kind of stay after it because the leader's gaining on you, you might do something different. Number 8 car, Darrell, you like a flat left front tire.
Jeff, I think finally that fender rubbed that tire, but the caution is out. So what a break for him, because this is the competition caution right here.
Boy, that was a big break.
What a break.
It is lap 45, and NASCAR told the drivers in their mandatory drivers meeting this morning
Flat tire jack, somebody. Got to get the car up first.
that if there was not a caution prior to lap 45, NASCAR would put one out so the drivers could evaluate tire wear.
And you heard him telling the crew we have to have the flat tire jack, because what he's talking about, the frame rail will be so low because that tire's flat, they have a jack that's a little shorter to get the left side up.
And what's amazing about this place is as much bumping and banging and all different grooves people run, we never have many cautions here.
And the reason he hadn't come to pit road yet, he's trying to get caught up with the field because the pace car just took the leader over there, so they'll be able to pit this time.
Sure, you got to be careful not to tear the whole nose off the thing.
But you're right, Larry. If he'd pitted this time, the pace car was so close to him, he would have lost a lap before they could get that tire changed.
Very borderline. Yeah, this pit road is very long. They come in right here off of turn 4, 45 miles an hour, goes all the way around and don't come off of pit road to turn 2.
They used to pit on both the front and back straightaways here. And that was adjusted to one long pit road to eliminate any advantage the front stretch teams might have had.
This was a big break for Jeff Green in the 30 car because he was just a little bit from going lap. Jeannie.
Well, and a big break, of course, for the rookie Jamie McMurray, who lost a lot of track time because of the weather. He's been complaining the car's a little tight in and loose off. Tire pressure adjustments for them, of course, because of where we're at.
Sterling Marlin getting 4 tires, air out of the right front. 1 round of wedge in for Sterling Marlin. Matt.
Work already going on the left side of Mark Martin's car. 4-tire change. Already made a wedge adjustment and air pressure. He was too loose, Dick.
Rusty Wallace is already out of here. They just flipped the car absolutely alone other than 4 tires. Ricky Craven's car, they loosened him up a little bit. Rusty will inherit the lead.
We had trouble on pit road there. Jeff Gordon got shoved into the pit. You know, I saw where he picked his pit. It's way down here toward turn 4. I said, why would he do that? It's because what I was afraid of, you'd get shoved into the fence when you're exiting the pits.
There you see him trying to get the left side up to change that flat left front. Matt Yoakum.
And they've already got that left front off. They're going to beat away some of that body work. Also work on some of the brake ducking underneath. Kevin Pinnell, the jackman. Service now finally complete for Junior.
Now here's what happened to Jeff Gordon along the pit lane. He gets kind of squeeze played right there. As Biffle comes out of his pit, Johnny Benson is there, and Gordon has to hit the brake.
It's a very narrow pit road.
2 years ago, a caution helped Steve Park. He was 5 seconds from going a lap down. The caution, he got back on the lead lap and won here.